tan mal cuando miras a otro lado, los fantasmas del pasado no se detendrán hasta verte derrumbado. Peores lo hemos pasado. Andaba a golpes con la tristeza, me aportó riqueza, me otorgó sabiduría, pues se dibujaba en todas mis piezas. Yo con alegría le daba color después. La aguja sigue girando, tiempo parece burlar de mí. Dijo que sanaría esperando, pero creo que la espina aún sigue ahí. Con los dedos no voy palpando, cierro los puños, escapa de aquí. Agonizando, no me espera el tiempo, no voy a esperar por ti.
Nuestras huellas en la orilla se han borrado por la marea. Si esas estrellas ya no brillan, las entiendo pa' que veas. Sea donde sea, bajo la tormenta o dentro de la odisea, donde arañas cubren el cielo de tela, los aviones nadan y los barcos vuelan. Aunque parezca que va bien, no sabes bien si va mal. Besos que pueden doler, ojos que pueden matar. Tengo mi alma en el almacén encerrada, mi corazón está en huelga, mis sentimientos en ámbar. Gente, Calamala dijo que estaría presente, fallaron como nunca, se fueron para siempre. Millones de razones para vengarme, pero a veces duele más actuar indiferente.
Como no quieren ver ahogados, tenemos branquias y cerrados los bronquios como la mente de un guardia. Yo soy la montaña y vine con la cordillera, más cojones que tu ganga tiene una madre soltera. Tú cúbrete si suena mi tu. A mi lado tengo soldados fumando de su palulú, y un conjuro de grimorio me lo salva del velorio. Va a tener pila valorio, se matan vestidos de emporio. Yo no quiero una pistola, estoy soñando que la vida que quería me llega a tiempo. Desde que yo la vi sola, loco ando. Vino a verme cuando el sol se estaba poniendo y se dejó una pluma y se perdió en la bruma. Nunca se despidió de mí, nunca se despidió de mí.
Vivo en un mundo que parece roto y sé que no, porque todo es perfecto y lo debo plasmar. Me fumo un trocolor tras otro y lo veo todo otro color. Me siento libre porque vuelvo a conectar. Mi gente sufre y no lo puedo evitar, más que dándole consejos siempre desde la humildad. Es su camino hacia la fraternidad, solo puedo que enseñarles a respetar y amar. Con esta bendición como no voy a aprovechar, los códigos que llegan los tenemos que aceptar. Si me reencarné fue para ayudar y no para malgastar mi tiempo en beneficio del mal. En la unión nace la fuerza y eso nos hace juntar las ganas que siempre tuvimos para iluminar a la gente que se le ocurra y la malla armonizar. Vinimos para dar fuego a la que no nos va a quemar.
Arde por dentro la llama, no puedo contener la ras. Churruscao el corazón, el armazón no puede llegar a pesarme más. Si abro la boca, tu tumba al suelo, me muelo a diario y sobrado de gas. Escupo risas perfectas, paladas de versos eternos, no mueren jamás. Cuando acabe mi condena, me vi muy solo y perdido. Cada vez más negra la flema, más elegante el problema, pero plante a todos mis enemigos. Recuperé las ganas, las fuerzas y el garbo. Dedico requiems a mis diablos, que aquí estoy vivo de milagro. Delicadas flores crecieron entre los cardos. Me dicen vienes más delgado que de costumbre. Será de tanto que he bailado en el alambre, que a tanta pena es mejor no ponerle nombre. Llevamos la música en vena, nuestra sangre.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Quiero pensar, pero no puedo, no. El ruido en la ciudad está consumiendo, Quieren pensar, sin ni siquiera estar al mando. Tanta publicidad subliminal te está matando. Les cuesta decidir por sí mismos cuál es su mando. Publican sonrisas con el corazón llorando. Quieren brillar, pero sin tener que valerse de tener sus ideas propias. Los veo a todos igual, solo son la réplica de la imitación de una triste copia. Obedece, la vida es un suspiro y envejeces. Te dejas distraer por estupideces y pierdes el eje. Te duele por dentro, entonces te creces, pero aceptas mucho menos de lo que mereces.
¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar, y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar, y solo así podrás brillar. Conserva tu juicio y tu intuición, más activos que el que lucha por lo suyo y no se rinde. Yo ya sé bien cuál es mi misión, y es contarte que el mal por su propio pie pronto se extingue. No caigas bajo su control, pues por la televisión es normal que mal lo pinte. Tú mantente firme en conexión con la fuente de creación, vivirás siempre de fin de. Dios abre los ojos, dime lo que ves. A tus propios hijos matándose por billetes. Niños mueren cada 2 por 3. Pa' unos es bendición, con otros por su causa pequen. Y yo que intento ser un ser crístico, voy bendiciendo hasta los diablos. Piensan que es cierto el mensaje típico. Dicen que invento lo del engaño, y mientras lucho contra mis errores, demonios escucho, me ofrecen soluciones. Pero sé que hay un ángel que quiere que mejore. Me dice haz un trabajo interno antes de que lo ignores, antes que otra vez llores y se llenen los mares de pena y de dolores, ya que en mi mente no caben. La paz no va en un sobre, somos algo importante. Nunca te revelaste y por eso no lo sabes. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar, y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar, y solo así podrás brillar.
Desperté tan cansado, me sentía mal herido de todo lo que he pasado. No me quita lo aprendido, por dentro me he perdonado, pero casi no me olvido. Me desperté tan cansado, me sentía mal herido de todo lo que he pasado. No me quita lo aprendido, por dentro me he perdonado, pero casi no me olvido, no. Todos repiten lo que dice el referente. Discursos vacíos lejos de ser coherentes. De lo que no sabes será mejor que no inventes. Que investigues y no te dejes lavar la mente.
¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que le di, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar.
Quiero pensar, pero no puedo, no. El ruido en la ciudad está consumiendo,
El autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Okay, man. Okay, fam. All right, hold on a second here, real quick. Let me see what's the deal. What up, Shalom? Saludos, buenas noches a todos. It's been a while. Let me take these off real quick. Thank y'all for being here, man. Appreciate you guys. It's been a few weeks. In case you guys aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Joshua. Welcome to MESHIACHA Chronicles, I guess you could say. Saludos, Jeremias, buenos dias. What's up, my brother from another mother? Hold on a second, man. I almost forgot.
¡Viva México, cabrones!
In case you guys must have forgot. What up, bro? Wanakuya, what's up, brother? Shalom, Rishi Yahoo. Where's your camp? I don't got a camp, bro. This isn't those BHIs ain't here. They don't want this, bro. And you know what? That's a good point, man. That's a good question regarding the camp. I was under the impression that that's technically the way it should be, scripturally speaking, as you know, that the brothers were staying in communication via letters, you know, like us in a way. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with joining the camp, but you got to be mindful, man, because a lot of times in the camps, you tend to be a respecter of people. And then these camps that are really out there teaching, they're not teaching y'all to get your house in order. They're teaching you to go teach other people and ignore the family, that you have to get them in order first. That's like, really, you guys want to be kings, you guys want to rule, but you can't get your house in order, but you want to go rule other people. it's very twisted upside down. So, anyways, no. Let's see. Lights on. They will not escape what they've done today. Everything in, yeah, bro. Everything in the dark. Everything in the dark. All for the sake of money. Yes, sir. ¿Qué pedo con Hugo? Nah, it's all good, bro. He's just asking, man. It's all good, dude. He's new, probably. No somos preistas, compa. You know, man, it's funny because I mentioned the milk a lot and nobody has actually asked me, can you show me the milk? I just find it funny. Anyways, it's not about me. All right. So appreciate you guys being here. It's not about me, man. Today I have some things to share with y'all. And again, I appreciate this. If you guys do consider this edifying, as you can see, this is not. Hold on a second. What's going on here? Stop. Hold on a second. What's going on here, bro? I'm trying to shift. Hey, let me turn this down. Let me turn this down. I couldn't hear my sound. Okay, so I'm trying to play. Here it goes, right here. Okay, so again, the class is called I named it because it's an interesting topic here. Okay, AMITY or Armageddon. Look, whether you agree or disagree with me, whether you are still in the 12-type chart camp, where if you think all can be saved, or some can be saved, or only the elect can be saved, or all Israel will be saved. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to argue about that with you guys. What I'm going to show you is I'm simply going to expose, or at least stress the fact that today in this life that we have, it is very important. Everything you do is extremely important, and I mean that. And I'm not telling you because I was some expert and I had a planner and I jotted everything down. No, man. I'm still trying to get it right, you know? But what I am going to try to do from this moment forward is to stress how important it is for us that are out here trying to teach or show. We cannot give anybody any reasons to judge us. And I mean that. Because I know from experience, I was out here showing and teaching and sharing and trying to debunk other people while I was still dealing with my demons, with my ism. And that ism includes other spirits that come with that ism. We all have an ism, but those come with other spirits. And you know what? I was a fool. I was a fool of not paying attention. That's why it says, get your house in order first, right? Here, let me, since we're on it, let me bring this out real quick. You guys know I use this app here. Sorry. I use this app. It's called eSword. I think this is important. And for you brothers out there that are, you know, man, it's like you try to advise people and you can only do so much, you know. And only so much you can do. And either people are going to listen to you or they're not, you know. And I want at least me personally, man, I want my friendships to mean something. That I've made a difference in your life, at least at some point, you know. And when you have people out there that just know a little bit more than you, man, sometimes it's just good to shut the hell up. Because that's what I did, family. That's why you didn't see classes for a few weeks. Excuse my language, I shut the fuck up. I had to get my mind right. I got a couple weeks under me now. You know, all praises to the Most High for that one. But it doesn't happen unless it starts with me first. 2nd Ezra 14:9. Actually 14, and it says 14 and 13. Now therefore, set thine house in order. That means you first. You. With all your imperfections, with all your issues and malice and envy. And by the way, malice isn't just like, oh, I'm not intentionally wicked. No, malice also means that you purposely sin, knowing that you're sinning. That's also malice. Purposely sinning. Know that you're sinning, but you're purposely doing it. That's 1 Peter 2:1. Now, therefore, set thine house in order. So get your mind right. If you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a leader, if you want to be out here, showing brothers and sisters, and at the same time trying to correct those that may not see the road. Who are you if you still got that dedo pointing at you? That's where it's almost like as if we have to be here, man. No, we got to be clean, like cleansed. Have no reason to give anybody to say something negative about you. That goes with watching your diet, watching what you say, watching what you drink, having a sober mind. You know what I'm saying? A plethora or a list of things that are demanded from us that have the book. Because this isn't just for the sake of playing games here. It's not therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people. Those are the first ones in your house. Because if you want to be a king, if you think you're the elect, like some people say, oh, you're preordained, you know, you're already good, I'm gonna be a king no matter. No, bro, you stupid. Stop listening to GMS. Dumbasses that have gray hair still do not know what the hell they're saying. Yo, y'all prophesied that the end of the world was gonna be in 2000. It didn't happen. So there's a lot to make up for. Now you're over here calling the cops on vocab. Come on, man. Trying to say only, bro, you're stupid, bro. It literally says in the New Testament, spiritual sacrifices, being cleansed, not being attached to lust. Like, for example, I'll give you one here, 2nd Ezra, real at the end, just so you can understand. Because I don't know why you think that, you guys actually think that look, it is very clear now that almost every religion understands regeneration. Every religion understands we've been here before. Woe be to them that are bound with their sins, 2nd Ezra 16:77, and covered with their iniquities. And covered with their iniquities. Bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities. Like a field is covered over with bushes. Meaning like you didn't look back and you didn't like break ground. Get rid of all those clods. Reseed yourself again. Be born again. Oh no, you're still stuck in the old path. In the old way, in your old sins, because, oh man, life's so hard. My mama did this, my dad did that, my parents used to drink, oh, I'm an alcoholic, oh, I do drugs, or oh, I lust so much, or I keep sinning. Bro, you got to find a place where you start actually taking yourself very serious about this life and saying, do you like your family? Yes. Do you love your family? Yes. Do you love your dad? Yes. Are you willing to change? That's the question right there. When people are asking you, are you willing to change? That's where all get stuck, because that means you have to have a new perception of your reality, not the old way. Woe be to them that are bound with their sins and are covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes. Now, you and I, brothers and sisters, who, because you guys know that, you know, I've dealt with alcohol. You and I that are still dealing or have dealt or are dealing with alcohol right here, if I were you, I'd shut up right now, sit back and examine myself tremendous, like thoroughly, before I go and teach other people. Because we are being hypocrites. We're telling people, hey, don't sin, don't sin. But here I am drinking until I pass out. What kind of shit is that? I was a fake for a while. So I had to step back and shut the hell up. Bro, listen, if I'm given this glory to understand the scripture, I'm laughing at the Most High. Oh, hey, you got to keep the commandments. Oh, you got to keep the Sabbath. But guess what, bro? I'm getting shit-faced almost every day. Yeah. Purposely sinning. Exactly. That's why it says here, woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes. Because you haven't examined yourself. You haven't looked at all of that malice and envy and evil speaking. You haven't broke ground. You haven't gotten rid of the clods. You haven't actually paved the way to sow again. No, you're covered with bushes. And you know what happens when you're covered with bushes? You burn as soon as the fire or the heat comes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. Just like Proverbs 6. I think Proverbs 24, he saw this building, and it was all messed with, like, full of nettles and thorns. He looked upon it, and I guess he learned something to that. I'm not going to go to it for the sake of time, but it's almost like that. So that's why when it says, your will be unto them, right? So here goes 1 Peter 2:1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice, all guile, all hypocrisies, envies, and evil speaking. Here is where the problem is with a lot of you guys. Because right here it says, a living stone and a holy people, meaning you got to have an actual change. You're not just an elect predestined, even though you're in sin, sleeping with hoes. That's pretty stupid, GMS. Verse 12, it says, just to make sure that you understand. What is it? Verse 12, what is it? 14? Hold on a second. Suffering wrongfully, the conscience. Here it goes. I think. Hold on. Acceptable to God. I thought I had that. Yep. Hold on. Okay. Well, anyways, let me go back to my point. Wherefore, laying aside all malice. Malice right here is the one I'm talking about. Just in the very first one, if you guys don't pay attention to the meaning of this word, it means like you're intentionally sinning. At the same time, you got wicked intent, wicked mind. You don't want to let it go. And this isn't something that, you have to ignore. No, this is a serious job right here. Examine yourselves. 2 Corinthians 13:5. So examine yourselves, examine yourselves, examine yourselves, examine yourselves. You have to always look at yourself. And guess what? This is a daily work, man. We got to peel that shit off every single day. Excuse my language. 1 Corinthians 15:31. I protest by rejoicing, which I have in the Meshiach, our Lord, I die daily. So every day, you got to peel that shit. So when I was presented with my ism, like, yo, listen, I have a problem still. Bro, I had to shut up. I had to shut up because I was the first hypocrite right there in my face. How can I be deceiving me? That says here, verse 33, be not deceived. Evil communication, corrupt good manners. Communicating with that spirit that wants to live in this home, because we all have a flesh and a thorn. And if you ain't aware of it, sorry to rhyme, but you're going to be horned. Be not deceived. Be not deceived. Because if you ain't doing this daily, examining yourself, if you are in the faith, to what? To make sure that you get rid of all the basic sins that we deal with every single day. Because that's where it starts. That's why verse 2 says, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Why? Because this is not your only rodeo. We've been here before. And that's why, for me, I'm not taking this lightly at all. I know now why things matter. And sometimes I get confused and I get tested. And man, oh, damn, sometimes I just want to give up. But something in my spirit says, keep effing fighting, bro. Keep fighting. 2 Ezra 14:35. Watch this. For after death shall judgment come, when we shall live again. See this? When we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So it seems to me like we're going to redo this all over again, right? Seems to me. It seems to me. I'm going to show you something real quick. Let me see if I can find it, because I thought I had it. I mean, if we're talking about spirits that are waiting, sitting there in their chambers, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? For real, bro? Oh, I'm sorry, 2 Corinthians 4:41. I was in 14, but hey, you know what? It kind of went there. Oh, thank you, Father. Then said, I know, Lord, that can't she not. And he said unto me, in the grave, the chambers of souls are like wombs of a woman. Okay? For like as a woman, remember, the souls are in chambers. Okay, so you know, we, at least what Christianity told us was, we live once, we die once, that's it, bro. Good luck. Hasta rato, peace, a rato. You ain't gonna have another life. You might as well, you know, enjoy the glories of this beauty, the flowers of every woman, or the, you know, the quivers of every dude. You know what I'm saying? For the women. Then said I, no, Lord, that can't she not. And he said unto me, in the grave, the chambers of souls are like the wombs of a woman. For as a woman that travaileth, maketh haste to escape the necessity of the travail. You know, so for example, when your wife or your sister, your daughter, when they have babies, right? 9 months, 10 months, at the last contraction, those last months, that's when it's like, it's ready to go. Even so, do these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them. So we see here that sometimes spirits lay in chambers. These spirits lay in chambers. I'll give you I'll give you a few examples just to be on the safe side here. That's in Apocrypha. Let's go to Luke 1:17. Watch what it says here. And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elias. This is talking about John the Baptist. So this John the Baptist, this individual, is going to move in the spirit of Elias. Or is he going to be once again? How is that possible? I'm going to move in the spirit of my father, so to speak, or my brother, or my cousin.
to turn the hearts of the fathers to their children, and to end the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a peace prepared for the Lord. Here, right here, just that's a cut for you Christians, because technically it's talking about Elias, and he's talking to his people once again, the Israelites. But that's not the point. Example number 2. I'll give you a couple more examples. Matthew 11 and 12. Watch this real quick, okay? Again, this is not our first rodeo. So for you that are out there sitting thinking, well, you know, I don't know if God's real or not, but I don't feel him, I don't sense him, I feel alone, I don't give a shit, I'm just going to enjoy my life. Hey, good luck for you, bro. Because you are writing. This may be the last book you're going to get to write. Matthew 11, 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and from the violence take it by force. You see this? For all the prophets and the laws prophesied until John. If ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. Boom. Hold on a second. Hold on. So you guys that believe or don't believe that we are here or never been here, or nah, it's predestined. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not predestined. You still got to be in spiritual stone. What do you mean? You can't be walking around with sin. Then why the hell did the Messiah come back in the first place? Why did he put Paul to sleep for 3 days? Hey, you know what, bro? Don't even trip, man. You don't got to keep the laws no more. And go tell everybody that they don't got to keep the laws no more, because you know what? I love everybody and everybody loves me. Isn't that what well, that's another point, but it's just, for me, it makes no sense how you guys can walk over this. It literally says here, moving in his spirit. Then he said, he that has an ear, let him hear. What does that mean? If he shuts your ear, like if he doesn't allow you to hear or believe or listen, bro, you out the gates already. Wrong. Let's go back to the Old Testament. Now, for you guys that don't believe, I mean, because we got people here that say, oh, well, the Messiah ain't real, but I'm waiting for David. You believe that one man gave us all sin, but then you also believe that one man can save you, but not that man, because you don't believe in that guy, because he's Jesus, even though that's not his name. You guys better start taking your life serious, man. Seriously, that's for everybody, bro. Everybody that I talk to. Because I don't think we are. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we are. I'm looking at every damn crevices that I deal with, whether it's my laziness at times, or my irresponsibilities of handling this, or my assumption that I can manage my alcohol. You know what I mean? Like 30, what is it? 30, what is it? 15, 25, 35, 45, 33 years of battling alcohol, and I still think I can manage? Bro, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I'm not saying I'm a Nazarite, but obviously there's people in the Bible that are not supposed to drink. And I'm going to show you something, how this affected us natives. I got proof in the pudding, bro. You know me, I bring scripture and historical books. That's what I'm about today. Let's read this here, man. Because, you know, it's been a while since I've been, man, I really miss doing this, to be honest with you. I wasn't going to do it today, family, if you just knew, man. But just the Most High wasn't letting me rest. He's like, get this done. Job 19:25, for I know that my Redeemer liveth. Oh, my Redeemer, that he shall stand in the latter days upon the earth. Colon. Now, colon means, here's some instructions of what I'm going to tell you. And though after my skin, worms destroy this body. Okay, because we know that when we die, they put us in a coffin and a bunch of worms start eating us. We know that, right? Yet in my flesh shall I see God, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another, though my veins be consumed within me. You need to start paying attention about your life. If you're still thinking that this is our first rodeo, or that you ain't gonna have nothing to pay for, or you really think, man, maybe what if God ain't real, bro? Woo on to you, my brothers. Ecclesiastes 1:4. One generation passed away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So this whole Khazar doctrine of destroying humanity because we're going to overpopulate, that's stupid, bro. That goes for you fake-ass Jews, Khazars, all you guys. I don't give a shit. You guys are wicked-ass people, man. You guys are Khazar, Israelite, mega Nazis, bro. Although you guys are the most horrible people I've ever known in my entire. I think you're as bad as, you know, because we got the so-called Canaanites, and then we got not the so-called, but the Canaanites, the Khazarites, and then we got, the Edomites. And you guys are all playing this beautiful game. And I see you because you're back here again. And this is my stress to your families. We're watching a novela and there's absolutely nothing you can do. You are the sideshow. Right now in politics, the only reason they're talking about raza or Hispanics is because y'all are immigrants. It's because y'all are guys insignificant. The major players right now that we see in this whole platform is blacks, so-called Jews, and whites. And you damn well fucking know it. So start coming to your senses. Stop trying to be part of these people that have been doing this for us for centuries and generations after generations. Pero no, quieren ser pendejos todavía. Okay, Ecclesiastes 1:4. One generation passed away, another generation coming, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also rises, and the sun goes down and hasteth in his place where he rose, meaning the cycle. You know, the circle of life, like the Lion King, right? The wind goes to the south, turn it about in the north, and it swirls but continually. And the world that turn it again according to its circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full because everything is in its balance, right? Unto the place whence the river come, thither they return again. All things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. It's an never-ending thing. This is not your first rodeo, which is why it's important to examine. Now, we are I believe, in those times. The things that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there's no new thing under the sun. If you want to wonder, really want to know, you're in the matrix, family. You're straight up in the matrix, man. And it's somewhat scary. Now let me show you how important you are to this society, okay? You're just a side point. You're a mouthpiece. You're a trivia. You're not important to this society, raza. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And you need to start waking the hell up because I know you think that you guys are. I know you guys think you are, but you're not. And I'm gonna show you why. And I'm gonna show you in this video why I know that you're not. And I know it's gonna hurt your feelings. And like I said, a lot of y'all don't like me, and I don't give a shit, really. You don't like because you don't like the fact that I say facts. Well, I invite any BHI or Christian or Protestant or Calvinist, whatever religion that you think can come and correct me. And I'll sit here and I'll talk to them. And I will point out a lot of their shit that a lot of you guys ignore. So we got some Christians, for example, let me just say this, that like to come here or they want to debate BHI, right? But you want to know something? They never debate these damn evangelicals, these mega Nazi evangelicals that are passing laws or intending to pass laws to literally deport 15 million people, to put themselves in power because they're feeling like the minority. None of you Christians go out there and attack them. No, you want to mess around with BHIs? Shit, you want to come mess around with this channel. It just shows exactly who's pushing you. But let's go now. Let's listen to this.
Theirs was a mythical America, a world of boundless optimism, happy endings, and homespun truths. This was a world of clapboard houses with broad verandas and white picket fences, gleaming streets and shops with friendly picture windows. Hollywood's America was made up of citizens who were industrious, religious, wholesome, and decent. And although they were of different classes and ethnicities, they were knitted together by a larger, almost spiritual sense of family.
So keep in mind, family, that these movies that we were accustomed to watching, listen to what they're saying. This is why they're here. What is happening in Palestine? Expect that to happen here again. Let's go.
The Moguls created the images, the icons, and the visual forms that we identify with the American way of life.
They created their own America, an America which is not the real America. It's their own version of the real America. But ultimately, this shadow America becomes so popular and so widely disseminated that its images and its values come to devour the real America. And so the grand irony of all of Hollywood is that Americans come to define themselves by the shadow America that was created by Eastern European Jewish immigrants who weren't admitted to the precincts of the real America.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high,
I heard of.
You see that? Somewhere over the rainbow, somewhere up high, there's a land that I heard of. Let's go.
Once in a lullaby, somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue.
Hey, by the way, you Christians here that are watching in secret, don't get all sad on me now because you think these are the real people of the Bible. Like, oh, the chosen ones. No, shut your asses up. Look, and by the way, in case you forgot, who are the immigrants right now, still being considered immigrants, since that time, still being deported, even though they're from over there. And the people from here, you're going to see that they're not even mentioned. No. Like I said, you so-called Hispanics are not important. I need you to understand that. And I don't mean it to offend you. I mean it to wake your ass up. Because there's absolutely nothing you're going to be able to do. All you can do is pray. And repent. I kid you not. Let's go.
And the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true someday.
On the yachts.
Move forward real quick. Now listen to this, how they recreate the image of the indigenous, the main ones, right? The number one characters here that were oppressed, beaten, stabbed, murdered, killed with smallpox, raped, slaughtered, and to this very day being called a beaner, wetback, spick, illegal immigrant, go back to your country. We speak English. Yeah, let's continue.
They dressed in tailor-made suits. They lived in the kind of houses that aristocrats were supposed to live in. And when they were not admitted to the Gentile country clubs, they rebuilt this one, Hillcrest, bigger and better than all the rest.
Are you married?
No.
Many of the moguls divorced their Jewish first wives and married Gentiles, younger, more socially acceptable women.
The establishment culture, that's really a wonderful indication of how far up into society Jews have come.
Now, this is where a producer lives. Not just any producer, but one of the most famous of them all, Samuel Goldwyn.
1955, let's continue.
High up on one of Beverly's hills.
Good morning.
Well, here is Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Goldwyn. And do you mind if I call you Francis and
I'd
Sam?
like that very much.
Sam, I understand that while you're the boss in the studio, that there's
This is the boss here.
It's her house, isn't it?
Every bit of it.
Let's talk to Francis then. How long have you lived here?
Oh, it's so long. 25, 26 years.
Sam, how'd you happen to pick this hilltop site out? Because of the view?
She picked it out.
And you bought it?
She liked it. The idea is to have her like it. That's all that's necessary for me.
It's fun to live in Beverly, isn't it?
We like Beverly very much.
And we're delighted you're both citizens of our town.
Tickets for two, you need for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Where you all going?
All right, pay attention. You are insignificant in their eyes. These are the players right here. That black and white chessboard that you guys love to ignore.
Hollywood! Hollywood!
When Jews came to America, it wasn't only Mayflower wasps who seemed to embody America.
Mayflower wasp means white Anglo Protestants, okay? White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. WASP. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Continue.
American blacks were quintessential Americans. I mean, that was
Did you just hear that? Did you just
one of
hear
the things that made America, America.
Hold on, man. This is, wow. Listen, look what made America in their eyes, okay? That's why I said there's Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 and 9. And who are the ones calling themselves Jews right now? Shit, you got some that are so confused. They're both calling themselves Judah. They can't even figure out who the rest of the tribes are. That's how stupid y'all are. But let's continue. I'm going to keep calling you guys out.
When Jews came to America, it wasn't only Mayflower wasps who seemed to embody America to them. American blacks were quintessential Americans. I mean, that was one of the things that made America, America, the presence of black people.
Wow. America, what made America was blacks. That's what made America, huh?
Is this you?
Let me show you what made America.
And
Quiet for a second, buddy. Let me show you what made America. And you evangelicals and you Christians, you guys are supporters of all this shit. You love them. You can't have enough of them. Well, I'm going to show you where this is leading you and how this is leading y'all into destruction. And I'm glad. I am so glad, because after what I've seen you guys do, historically speaking, and what I'm seeing you guys do in action today, how you guys are murdering children, mothers, daughters, forcing them to starve to death. You got no soul. You guys are the most horrible animals I've ever met in my entire life. You guys are beasts, just like Ecclesiastes 3:18 says. Listen to this.
discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians, and a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling how tough it is, how rough it is to get approved. Well, you go up to Connecticut, and you look. Now, they don't look like Indians to me, sir.
Thank God that's not the test of whether or not people have rights in this country or not, whether or not they pass your look test.
Depends whether or not you're approving it, sir.
No, it's not a question whether I'm approving it. It's not a question whether I'm approving it. Mr. Trump, you know in the history of this country where we've heard this discussion before, they don't look Jewish to me.
Oh, really?
They don't look Indian to me. They don't look Italian to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a test for whether people could go into business.
The indigenous African American.
So here's what I mean by the people at play. You got these Jewish people, right, feeling sorry for black folks, knowing their history, that the Jews and the Moors worked together. And I'm not saying they're all African American or Africans within American experience, right? Shout out to you wobbles. Hit the link, please. You're always welcome to talk shit here. Let's see how much you can handle the mind. But, let me show you this last video here, and then I'm going to read a book, bring you some points, and then we should be all set. Because even people from other countries know what you guys don't know. Okay, so I found this video.
Hello, I'm Adrian Hernandez.
Found this video of this young lady, and she's got like satire type of deal going on, right? So let's listen to this satire. I'm gonna speed it up. Hold on a second. Stop. I just find it interesting because of the stuff that she says. You see, we're being told and misled that, oh, they suffered so much even in Germany or in Russia. I was going to do a class on the history of Khazars, and I was going to bring this out because I did find that Bolsheviks have something to do with Khazars. But I'm going to let her share it because I think it's good. So I think this young lady is from Romania. She speaks Spanish as well. But I find this rather interesting. And then we're going to move on to one of the books I've showed y'all with it before. It's called the Perils. What is it? The Perils of the Republic. All right, so let's listen in real quick.
Christian evangelist. I think I'm a good person. Look, I'm Christian evangelist and I stand with Israel. You're stupid. There, diagnosed. Next. Why? Let me see if I understand. It's because God chosen people, right? Yes. So you're telling me that God is unfair and racist and agrees with ethnic cleansing, basically like a tribal God, a partial God. that favors some people above others. Are you sure you're talking about God? Oh, that's blasphemy. Blasphemy. Are you sure? Because you're the one who's speaking about the God who discriminates, a God who allows those so-called chosen people to butcher, to create a genocide, and to steal land. Are you even sure you're a Christian? And you know the rules of Christianity. You know, don't steal, don't kill. There are 10 rules. Are you sure? Yeah, but the Holocaust and 6 million people and the biggest tragedy? Let me guess, the next phrase is gonna be you're anti-Semitic to Eastern Europeans who think they're from the land, isn't it?
Oh, that was good. She said Europeans who think they're from the land. All right, I like that. Look,
isn't it? Actually, the Holocaust was to Eastern Europeans who think they're from the land, isn't it? Actually, the Holocaust was a tragedy, but by far not the biggest. Dear Christian, do you know about the 20 million Christians, or more actually, that were butchered in concentration camps by the Bolsheviks? Why don't you speak about Armenia? It's the oldest Christian country in the world, and actually Israel is supplying weapons to kill Christians. So, what kind of Christian you are? Oh, but Bolsheviks? Nothing to do with Israel. Well, actually, the administration of the Bolsheviks, 427 out of 525, they were Jewish. You know, the ones in power, the elected ones from the Bolsheviks, they were Jewish. So, what shall we do, the Christians, after more than 20 million Christians butchered? Yeah, because
now, in case this passes you by, you do know that World War I had a lot to do with that right there, to break up that power. So in case you don't know, Bolsheviks had a vast amount of Jewish influence in their armies and their government. Don't they say that they killed a lot of so-called Jewish, Polish people? No one ever talks about that. And isn't that where Stalin also came out of? No one ever talks about that now, do you? But let's continue.
we're Christians. Shall we do our own land? No? In the name of God? I'm asking you, Christian. This is what religion is about? That's why you support what you support? Or you're just simply, as I said from the beginning, stupid? Yeah, but, you know, the Muslims and with us, with the Christians, like... What? Tell me, Hollywood, what did you learn? Do you know that in Islam, Jesus Christ is respected and is portrayed as a messenger of God? But where Jesus Christ is portrayed as he should boil in excrements, and Virgin Mary is a prostitute. Exactly, you guessed it, but I guess I should be anti-Semitic if I say it. So what you're cheering for, evangelist Christian? What you're cheering for? And I'm telling you this as a Christian, because you know, they love to brainwash you in thinking that you should hate Muslims, you know? What you're
She goes on a couple other things, and I don't want to get off topic. But anyhow, all right, so let me show you this real quick. Let's go back to the point here, because this is the man we're talking about.
And they say he left troops in Syria. You know what I did? I left troops to take the oil. I took the oil. The only troops I have are taking the oil.
Venezuela. How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door.
Excuse me, I didn't. I'm the one that gave Ukraine offensive weapons and tank killers. Obama, you know what he sent? He sent pillows and blankets.
We here are focused.
Is Trump, right? All right. I've showed you guys this book before. I want you to pay attention, close attention to this book here. It's called The Perils of a Republic by Percy Maga on, or Percy Magan. It's written in, or printed, I should say. Let me see the year. 1899, okay? So it's got some points here that I want to make. Let's go to page 156. You see, I've been reading this book off and on, right? And a couple pages reminded me of something that I had read. And it reminded me of where people are going. Now, I'm not saying that Donald Trump is but what I think is he is a piece of, let me see if I can find it, because I thought I had it here. Let me see if I can go to my history. Go to my history here. Here it goes.
I want to stress.
I heard this guy say this, and this is what I believe. Like, you know, like, for example, with me, and I'm open about my problem. You know what I mean? And I don't call it a problem, because I thank the Lord and I thank the Most High for giving me the strength and the power and the understanding to be willing to put the drink down. It's not easy, man. You know, that's two weeks of sobriety so far. All praises to the Most High for that. You know? And I'm gonna try to. Oh shit! I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna have to. I got no choice, man. In case you guys don't know, I ended up in the hospital. In case you don't know. Seriously, I ended up in the hospital. Sometimes it takes that shit to wake up. Anyway, so listen to this. This guy says this. They're very important, and I really agree with it. Because again, it's not about Trump per se. It's again, remember the beast. It moves with nations. It deals with nations. There's a leader, but then it deals with nations, right? All allowed in the power, but again, it deals with nations. So let's listen in.
Donald Trump is not the threat. He is not the threat. He is the symptom of the disease. The venereal disease that this country has is white Christian nationalism. It is the form of American fascism. And it has metastasized on the ball sack of America. And the wart that is the visual symptom is Trump.
Listen to what he's saying. This is actually barely powerful what he's talking about, because he's saying that se ha mastizado, you know what I mean? Masticized, like it really has clamped on the huevos of this MAGA Nazi movement, evangelical concept that this one man is going to speak on their behalf. And I'm going to show you how 125 years ago they wrote this. That's why I started the class with, this isn't our first rodeo, family. We've been here before. You guys better really take those scriptures sincerely, man, and examine yourselves. Get rid of all those clods that we all know we got, and do that shit daily. Repent, reflect, and repeat. Repent, reflect, and repeat. I'm telling you this, man. And I'm telling you because I know I've failed. Lord willing, he gives me a chance, because, bro, I was almost gone. Let's go.
And no matter how many times we cut that wart off, we will not rid ourselves of the venereal disease of white Christian nationalism. We must deal with this at the ballot box. That is where we win this fight. I want to stress, Donald.
Maybe some of them feel it. You know what I mean? Maybe some of them do. I don't know. But I do know this, that this is real. From Perils of Republic, I want you to pay attention to, and I'm going to read several pages, okay? So stick with me, because this is important. We start off with, let's say, here. Page 156, right? The things which have come to pass, and which are written out in this book, both those concerning Rome and the United States. We have also been written long before the prophecies of the book of the books, Revelations, and I'm sorry, on the sacred leaves of the Holy Scriptures, because books are made out of book. You know what I'm saying? Tree. This is not a chimera, but a fact, or chimera, I believe, a reasonable fact, and one of the deepest interests to all citizens of the U.S. It is fashionable nowadays to scoff at the idea that the Bible gives any instruction concerning the affairs of nations. It's true. Nobody believes this no more. You guys want to go with your own doctrines and you're only focusing on destroying one set of people. BHI, eat them, eat them, eat them. Yet they were hiding the fact that black conquistadors came with them as well. Why? I'll leave you guys to ponder on that one. This is not, I'm sorry, it is fashionable nowadays to scoff at the idea that the Bible gives any instructions concerning the affairs of nations. So you that are super Christian, right? You come into this channel and try to tell me, you know, the Bible's for everybody. So then you stand behind the doctrine of the discovery. Manifest destiny. You Christians, you Christmas Christians sit behind that. And you don't even know it. You're raping your own mother by doing that, and you're one of our kind. It says here, but nevertheless, a very large portion of the Word of God is simply a history of the nations and a record of God's dealings with them. Nothing can be more true or evident than that God keeps an account. Not only with every individual, this is why I said this isn't your first rodeo. You better get it right. If you're out there teaching and you got vicios in you, bro, stop. Sit back, shut the F up, and examine and reflect and repent and do it as much as you can. The time will come when you're already consider yourself the tree. If you're not rooted well, you're going to grow a branch that's crooked as hell and it'll never get fixed. That's why it's important to establish a foundation. If you don't have one, what are you teaching? Not only can it be more true or evident than God keeps an account, not only with every individual, but also with every family, every city, and every state. Keep your house in order, get your house in order, and make sure your house is right, because that fire is going to come into them first. First of all, on you for not teaching them, and second of all, for you not reflecting the fact that you might have destroyed them and didn't repent on that and ask them for forgiveness. No, but you know what? Some of us are so proud we think we know everything. You know, what is our wife to be questioning us or our kids? Y'all are stupid, bro. When Abraham and his followers entered the land of Canaan, they were not permitted to destroy the sinful inhabitants. You see, Abraham did go into that land in Haran, and he went there, but he wasn't destroying Canaan. No, the Most High allows things to happen at his good old time. At his good old time. That's what it's basically saying here. But he said, Yahoo, addressing the father of the faithful and referring to Israel, in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And in the fourth generation they did come. They did come thither again. And by the command of the Lord they slew and speared not. This was Joshua. This is why a lot of you guys, you know, if you go into these camps and they don't really answer your questions, you got to start wondering, well, who the hell is Canaan? Well, it's because they know that they're Canaan and they don't want to admit it. But anyways, regarding Canaan and why they were kicked out, and Amorites and Jebusites and all those wicked ass nations, right? Here it goes right here. Wisdom of Solomon 12:3. It says, for it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land. Canaan and his family. You know what I mean? The sons of Ham, those guys. You weren't supposed to be there, Canaan. And just like today, your Revelation 2:9 brother is actually doing it in Israel right now. They're doing it over there and you're doing it here. You're claiming that you are the original natives of this land, and they're claiming that they're the original natives of that land. Isn't that funny? To me, that's just so ridiculous. But again, I understand the spirit that you deal with. The spirit of Cain. You are of your father, the devil, whom thou hated for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices. So we know now that that's why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, because there are a portion of them. And also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of men's flesh and the feast of blood. Because if you read Enoch, I believe it's Enoch, it talks about how the spirits taught the men to kill embryos in the womb. With their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help, that the land which thou esteemest above all others might receive a worthy colony of God's children. Which is why here, when Abraham went into Canaan, he didn't destroy them right away, because their time was not yet full. Follow me here, because this is exactly what we're going to, because the time wasn't yet full. In 1492, it was bound to happen. Matter of fact, here, our indigenous, heritage or historical stories do say that we had an idea that a nation was going to come from afar, and that was when we were going to be destroyed. Decimated. And you know, it's funny because I was reading this. Let me see if I still have it. I was reading this chapter, and is it here? No, hold on. Or is it here? Let me see. Horseman. No, it wasn't this one. I was reading this chapter and something got my attention. Another possible connection of how, I think it's in Isaiah, it talked about sending us, punishing us, and then there was only 1/10 that was going to be left remaining. The stump, that's right. Give me a second. That's right. I was looking at it. Stump. Thank you. Hold on a second. Now, I was just reading this the other day, or earlier today. Where the command lead, the stump, the root, it should be after the north. Hold on a second. Is this one? Now, anyways, I don't want to lose point. So let's continue. All right, so let's go here on page 157. Okay. Now check this out. When the angels visited Abraham under the oaks on the plains of Mamre, the Lord spake to them concerning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's when he said, yo, get out. Okay. All right. So now let's get to a good point here. Page 158. We're going to start right there. The same God who watched over the nations of the Amorites and destroyed them when their cup of iniquity was full. The same God who kept records of the gay pleasures and grievous sins of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, and who consumed them in the fearful flames when they had passed unseen lines. The same one also kept watch over the Republic of Rome, which, by the way, mind you, they became an empire. Then they became a church and state. And is keeping watch also. The same one also kept watch over the Republic of Rome and is keeping watch over the Republic of the United States. In the wonderful prophecies traced with the pencil of the Holy Ghost, the history of these two is written, and was written long before their either came into existence. It was written to the intent that the living might know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of them and give it to whomever he will. That's why when I have dumbasses Christians coming over here, especially crackety cracks and shit, trying to tell us how we're stupid or dumb, and they think they're so great or some type of civilization that civilizes, right? This is why I remind them of that they're only there for a bad reason, not because you're smarter. And the only reason you have any kind of intelligence is because you're dealing with spirits. And I know that now. We're not done yet. This is getting hot. There are many who believe that the churches, there are many who believe that the churches and churchmen should have nothing to do with politics. Now we're getting into it. What exactly is the Christian nationalist talking about? Church and state. Yeah, church and state. None hold this view more staunchly than I do. Nevertheless, it is a true today, as it was in centuries past and gone, that prophets and priests are sent by the Lord to warn kings and nations concerning the retribution which will be visited upon them by the kings of kings and the Lord of lords, if they depart from the path which is a divine hand has mapped out for their feet. This is why it's so interesting, mapped out for their feet. Because if you realize the last nation, the last kingdom, it says that it was the toes. It'll be like mirror clay and iron, and it just won't mix. This is what happens. Democrats, Republicans, black, white, Asians, Arabs. We already know we're not part of the picture. Hispanics, get that in your mind. You mean nothing to them. Nothing. Even though your GPD is like $3.6 trillion, you're about 60% of the population, but they don't give a F about you because it's about blackity black, whites, and Khazars. That's what it is. That's what it is. I hate to tell you. I know I offend people, but oh well. In these senses, and in this sense only, do I believe that the voice of the ambassador of the Mashiach should be heard in the courts and Congress of human powers of earthly governments. It is because of, I firmly believe that if the United States persists in the course she has entered upon, you see, this happened 130, almost 30 years ago. This progression of church and state has been going on for quite some time. And we're there right now. We are there right now of a nation of people that want church and state. It says here, and it is because I firmly believe that if the United States persists in the course she has entered upon, her ruin and the ruins of the world can be the only result, that I have penned these lines. Prophets were sent to the heathen kings as well as to the monarch who sat on Israel's throne. They were sent because God loved the people and did all that the infinite love and mercy could do to save them from general doom. If the nations as a whole heeded not, listen, if the nations as a whole heeded not, it was often the case. We saw with Abraham, he's like, hey man, if there's any good people, if there's one, but they ain't. There were individuals who listened to the voice of the ambassadors of the Lord and were kept from the dire troubles which God has sent upon the rebellious state. Then he says, my life has been devoted to the affairs of religion and spirituality. I have never been a member of any sense of any political party, and have never in my life cast a vote in city, state, or national elections. In saying this, I would in no sense judge my brethren to have considered it duty to do this. This is why I tell y'all, brothers, why are you voting? You're not supposed to. It has nothing to do with the Bible. But some of you guys do. Some of you guys still, you think you're U.S. citizens. Like, really? It says, suffice it to say that it has been my conviction that as a citizen of the kingdom of heaven and as an ambassador of the MESHIACHA, I would serve humanity the best by holding entirely aloof from the political strifes, which divide men in factions and parties, and devoting my strength to the sweetest of all ministries, that is the reconciliation between Christ and the sinner. Watch this. Let me skip a little bit here. In the Bible, by the pen of the prophet Daniel and of the revelator John, we have in advance of its enactment the history of Rome and the United States, the two great republics of the West. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, behold, 4 winds to heaven strove up the great sea, and 4 great beasts came upon the sea, diverse one from another. Now, you guys know this. This is all Daniel, right? Talking about the beasts, what they look like, okay? We understand that. I don't think I have to go and read all that for you guys, because, I mean, technically, you guys can't read it for yourselves. So let me get to the point here that I want to get to. Let's see here. Here goes right here. Watch this. Now, these 4 kingdoms are named outright in another place in the Bible. They were Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. Rome was the 4th and was diverse from all before it, in that it was a republic. Pay attention. Now, while it was a republic that Rome devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue of his feet. Moreover, in Daniel 8:20 and 25, it is written of the same power, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince as a prince, but he shall be broken without hand. Okay, so we understand this here real quick. Watch this. Just what this crafty, peaceful, destroying policy and how his power became mighty, but not by his own power, has already been set forth clearly from the history of this chapter. By the history I have shown that Rome, being a republic, a government of the people, made pretension to liberty and to the love of liberty. We hear that here too as well. Only for the sake of liberty. We hear that here too as well. That for this reason, Rome pretended to love and desire the liberty for other people. This is why what happened in Venezuela was not. In America, they're telling you guys that Maduro did not win. But if you listen to Spanish actual news, not regular channels, you find out that he won fair and square, and that there was a coup d'etat from a CIA agent in America. And you heard Donald Trump say, I want the oil of Venezuela. Why do you think he says in the first day, I'm going to close the borders and drill, supposedly to get oil? No. Close the borders and invade Venezuela. I'm not stupid. I follow history. I know what you guys are doing. Because it was Donald Trump that created the sanctions for Venezuelans to start migrating this way. That's why the whole exodus is the whole cause. He caused it because he knew, and they knew he was going to be back again. It's, again, family, this is not your first rodeo. Wake up. Check this out. So let's continue here real quick. Let me see here. Let me continue reading. It says here, Rome sent her armies and navies across the seas to fight the battles and win the causes of others, and win the cause of those other peoples. Not only set them free from oppressive powers to enjoy the blessings of liberty, of which Rome was the conservator in the world. And then when the battles were fought, the victories won, and the people delivered, those people were not free. They were more bound and more hopeless than ever before. Isn't that what America has done to all Latin America? Anglo and Black America? You guys cannot go and try to separate yourselves from the white man. Yeah, I know you guys like to do that shit. No, we ain't teaming up. There was black and white conquistadors. You're not changing that story. Not in this channel. Because of the Romans' greater power than that of the former oppressors. Now, we know that, Africa was also in cahoots with Romans. Because one of the first African popes outside of Rome was an African. In case you guys don't remember, Hannibal, like the historian Hannibal, he was an African. Popes came out of Africa too. Christianity is not new to black people. Stop your fucking, excuse my language, stop your lying. I don't like it when you guys lie. You guys are liars. Hit the link and tell me that I'm wrong. Just please somebody. And I mean, it would be nice if you can come to my channel and say, you are wrong. And here's where I'm going to show you you're wrong. Matter of fact, if you can prove me wrong, I'll shut the channel down. But you guys can't. They were more bound and more helpless than ever before because Romans greater power than that of the former oppressor. And today, no man can intelligently read that history of the Republic of Rome before any audience in the United States without that audience seeing the Republic of the United States perfectly outlined up to date. Now, I point a particular to be considered in that this history of the Republic of Rome was sketched in the book of Daniel 340 years before it occurred. And then sketch was closed up, sealed, not for 340 years, not till 198 BC and onward, but for 2,400 years till the time of the end. That's why I'm going to say this. I don't agree that 70 AD has anything to do with Deuteronomy 28. I don't agree with it. You want to know why? I'll show you why. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't think, from my understanding, from historically speaking, historically knowing, historically researching this information, I don't think this happened in Jerusalem. Okay, I want you to pay attention. Deuteronomy 28:21, the Lord shall make thy pestilence cleave unto thee until he hath consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Those people in Jerusalem, when supposedly it fell, they didn't get fever and inflammation. They didn't get this right here. Deuteronomy 20:27, the Lord shall smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou cannot be healed. The only place that happened and where you were consumed was here in America. That's the only place that happened. In 70 AD, the Jews in that time, they didn't get botches of Egypt. Show me in the Bible where they got botches of Egypt when 70 AD happened. Here, I'm waiting right now. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that the Jews got botches of Egypt in 70 AD. This is why this guy's saying that. It didn't happen then. It happened now. Why was this sketch of the Roman Republic written and then closed up and sealed until time 2,000 years after that republic had failed? As a republic and became imperial? Because America was a republic once. That's why it's called the perils of a republic. But now America is an empire. Don't they sanction everybody that they want? Why do you think inflation is going on right now? Inflation is because they're not able to sanction as many people and as many countries and use up all the resources as cheap as it used to be. That's why you don't see 99-cent stores anymore, brothers and sisters. The scripture said that when the visuals start getting cheap, People are going to think, oh, yeah, things are good. As soon as you see them disappear, that's when shit's going to start hitting the fan. And we're seeing it right now. Check this. It was because of this, the time of the end, there would be another republic that would go over the same course as did that republic, would apostatize from republicanism into imperialism. Moreover, it was a state composed of this apostasy of a republican to imperialism. It was such a state with which the apostate church of early days, the man of sin, the Bible, united. And this union made the papacy the first beast of the Bible, as mentioned in Revelation 13. Let's continue. In the same 13th chapter of Revelation, it is written, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Here is depicted the rise of the United States, coming up peacefully out of the earth, instead of forming amidst long years of tumults and fighting, as was the case with all the other powers. It was represented as having 2 horns like a lamb. A horn in prophecy signifies power, and the 2 great principles which have given the power of the U.S. that made her what she is today are Protestantism and Republicanism. The Republicans, Democrats, the 2 horns that rule countries based on policies that they pass. I think it's pretty clear. We're talking about this particular empire. I don't know how you guys are reading it, but I'm reading it the way it's being read, and I'm seeing it very clear. But Protestantism and Republicanism are both in their spirit pacific. That is, they are lamb-like. Hence the word, had 2 horns like a lamb. You see, they try to bring policy and peace. We want to help this country become democratic through policy of Democrats and Republicans, through sanctionings and oppressive powers, as we see. Here, let me help you against your oppressor, like they did to Cuba. Well, they tried. They tried. But they did to Puerto Rico, right? They definitely did that. Puerto Rico was part of Spain. We'll help you, Puerto Ricans. Okay. Nah, we're going to oppress you, Puerto Ricans. Now, if you only know what's going on in Puerto Rico right now, it's horrible, man. It is obvious from that should these 2 horns of power be plucked up, as it were, should they be abandoned, should they be abandoned, and Roman Catholic principles in these things religious, in things religious, and monarchical ideas in things civil, take possession of this government, then at once everything that is lenient and lamb-like in the government would at that very moment disappear. Why? Christian nationalists. Not through peace will they pass laws. No. You know what Project 2025 is talking about. One man is representing that entire nation. In other words, it is the prevalence of these 2 principles, Protestantism and Republicanism, which alone makes the government lamb-like in its nature. Now let's skip to this particular part right here. Let me see this. Hold on. Give me a second. Vindicating, let me skip here. The converse of respect, the principle of Protestantism, Christianity. Okay, here goes here. The principles of Protestantism are the true principles of Christianity, the Christianity of the Bible. The principles of Republicanism are also the principles of God in the Bible in things civil. But it is said concerning the beast, which symbolizes the United States in the Bible, that he had 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. Here are 2 things happening together at the same time and totally incompatible with one another. That which is lamb-like, speaking as a dragon. Now a thing that is lamb-like cannot possibly speak as a dragon and still retain its lamb-like disposition. It therefore follows that the scriptures have portrayed that the United States, when in the name retain its lamb-like principles of the Protestantism and Republicanism, but in nature and in practice, it will deny them. Why? What exactly do these Democrats are telling these Republicans? What did Jesus do? Wasn't Jesus a socialist? Jesus helped the poor, fed the needy. These guys aren't saying that. They're not saying that at all. They want Mexicans to leave this country. They want beaners to get out of here. That's what they're saying. That's what it says here. This is a national hypocrisy. Because again, they're portraying themselves to be scriptural, right? Behind the lamb-like principles of Protestantism and Republicanism, whoa, we're about equality and civility and conservatism and, equal rights. And no, but they deny Matter of fact, you nationalists, you mega nationalists, do you guys realize that most Hispanic Hispanic, so-called Hispanics are Christians? Do you guys realize that? So you're passing laws to oppress other Christians, but you don't say you call them Christians. You call them illegal aliens, wetbags, spics, even though they're Christians like you. This is a national hypocrisy. Yeah, it is national apostasy. There may never in these United States exist openly, outwardly, in the name a union of church and state, which constitutes itself as an abandonment of Protestantism. But the thing itself will be, and even now is here. We may never have an emperor with a crown upon his brow, but Rome was imperial, and an empire for long years while still retaining the image and name of a republic. Check this out. Now, the first piece was Rome, we know that, once a republic, but apostatized in the imperial monarchy, degenerated into a military despotism, united with the church, once Protestant in principle, but apostate in the papacy. The union of these two was, I say, the first beast. Let me see if I could. Now, let me continue. We're almost done on this one. Now, when in the prophecy, the image of the beast is to be made, it is said to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast. Now, he's talking about how they start including the Bible here, okay? So it says here, this shows that this is all done in place where there is no union of church and state. That it is true of the United States at its formation, and it is not true of any other nation that was ever on earth, meaning that the U.S. started as a state. The first amendment, I think the Declaration of Independence, the very first one, says that there's no such thing as church and state. These things show that the nation is first a republic, and that this nation is the one where these things are at last done. But these things cannot be done in a true republic, for they are positively antagonistic to it in principle. For these things to be done in a country professing to be a republic, there must be an apostasy from the principle of a true republic. Watch this. Already there has been an apostasy from the principle of Protestantism, for the principle of a separation of church and state. The Congress of the United States, the executive, and the judiciary of the United States are already committed to the papal principle as opposed to the Protestantism. This has already been done by congressional legislation, executive action, and judicial decisions, basically saying they've been separating church and state since the get-go, right? All three arms of the federal government have already inferred in behalf of the religious institutions, in behalf of the Sunday and Sunday laws. Already here in the home of freedom, men have been arrested and thrown into prison. So now it's talking about that even though they're claiming not to be church and state, I apologize, in secret, they move like church and state. Already here in the home of freedom, men have been arrested and thrown into prison and even committed to chain gang in company with the loathsome criminals simply because they could not consciously observe the first day of the week. I never heard that. Into the history of this apostasy from Protestant principles, I cannot go. It is fully written in other works. So here's where it gets really interesting, family. A true republic can never unite with papal principles. But now the republic is apostatizing from the republicanism and uniting with the apostate Protestant principles, the WASP. That's why they're talking about white nationalists or white Anglo-Saxon Protestant nationalists. This is itself an image to the beast, church and state. Already this nation has commenced a war against men who plead for republican principles in their land, in their island home. Listen to this. Already this nation has commenced a war against men who plead for republican principles in their island home. And according to the prophecy, it is yet to go the furthest step in its awful path and kill men for desiring Protestant principles in the United States. Wow. For it is written of the United States, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Here we're seeing something very similar. So we see that the union of church and state in Rome hastened and actually wrought the ruins of that apostate republic. Even so now will this union hasten and cause the ruins of this so far apostate republic. It's talking about America. And the sketches of the history of the former was written in the book of the prophet Daniel then, and closed up and sealed until now, so that they that be wise, he who has an ear, let him hear, may understand what to do to escape the evil and the ruins that will come. And even now hastens a ruin that will come to this modern great republic, as surely as came to the ruin of that ancient great republic. This national apostasy is proceeding daily before the eyes of all the people. And as national apostasy progresses, meaning white nationalism, national ruin hastens. And with this national ruin comes the ruins of the world and every nation in the world. Check this out. This is why I named the class Amity or Armageddon. Because listen to this. MAGA, right? Let's do this real quick. Let's play this again.
Trump is not the threat. He is not the threat. He is the symptom of the disease. The venereal disease that this country has is white Christian nationalism. It is the form of American fascism. And it has metastasized on the ball sack of America. And the wart that is the visual symptom is Trump. And no matter how many times we cut that wart off, we will not rid ourselves of the venereal disease of white Christian nationalism. We must deal with this at the ballot box. That is where we win this fight. I want to stress.
And you know what? This guy is not kidding, because I think he's seeing the ruins of where these people are going. The nonsense, the stupidity, the hypocrisy. I mean, it's just like just blatant, straight racism, and they don't care anymore. Like it doesn't matter to them anymore, any longer. It's just like, yo, listen, we yeah, you know, DI, bruh, DI. You know, we want Trump. We want Trump as a dictator. Watch this. Trump as a dictator.
Are sky-high production costs making you say, oh no? Say yes.
Under no circumstances, you are promising America tonight, you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's not retribution.
I'm gonna be, you know, he keeps, we love this guy. He says, you're not gonna be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator,
So
okay?
that sounds to me like you're going back to the policies when you were president.
You guys think I'm kidding? Let's read. That's why I called it Amity or Armageddon. Amity or Armageddon. Because these people stand behind Trump, speak on behalf of Trump, want Trump to dictate them, to rule them, to be their king, and no one else. So that's why I said Amity or Armageddon. Are we looking at people that really care about peace? Let's see. Now, this was written in 1899, mind you. Look what it says. The people of this world, meaning America, you know what I mean? You know how in the Bible it talks about, I speak openly to the world, to the Jews. In this case, the people of this world, black and white, you guys ain't getting away with it. You're not going to let the white man burn by himself. No, Mr. Blackity Black, you're going to burn with him too. The Khazars, because look, this is the three amigos, the gringos, the Khazars, and the Africans with an American experience. You that want to be us natives, or you that claim to be BHI. The other ones that don't even deal with this shit, well, I ain't talking to you. We're talking about this genre of people here. Because I want to show you this. I want to show you something. You that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You that kill with the sword shall be dying with the sword. Because remember, they were black and white conquistadors when they came to this country. You guys don't even realize this. Since 1492, they made you irrelevant. We've been sitting back watching their whole soap opera play in our face. And we're naive about it. Oh, why? Because you want to fit in? Look, man, you already know how it goes. You try to fit in with the gringo, they remind you're Mexican. You try to fit in with the negro, they remind you Mexican. You try to fit in with the Khazar, they remind you're a servant. Stop. Just stop. Check this out. The people of this world are proclaiming peace. MAGA. We are conservative, they say, right? And preparing for war. They said, don't threat on me. Civil war. If we lose, we're going to go to civil war. Never has there been a state of affairs so utterly incongruous, meaning that they really just don't even like, it just doesn't make no sense. You say you like the Constitution, but then you want to break the Constitution. You say you stand behind your laws, but then you want a king. You ran away from kings to want a king. Never has there been a state of affairs so utterly incongruous. Watch this. With one voice, men unite in declaring that the halcyon days are at hand. The what? Check this out. What does that word mean? That word means characterized by happiness, great success, prosperity. Prosperity relating to the halcyon entry or its nesting period. A bird identified with the kingfisher. Hold on, let me see another one. Let's go back. Let's get another definition here. Let's go this one here. It says here, calm, peace, tranquil, well-to-do, well-off, rich, flourishing, the golden days, make America great again. With one voice, men under Trump unite in declaring that the good old days are at hand, everybody. Well, at the same time, they get ready for the biggest game of powder and projectile that has ever been proposed during the history of the earth. This is mega right here. This is mega right here. These people of this world are proclaiming peace and are preparing for war. Never has there been a state of affairs so utterly incongruent, meaning like just like water and oil. With one voice, the evangelicals, the white evangelicals, the black evangelicals, black Republicans, white Republicans, with one voice, men unite under Trump in declaring that the good old days, make America great again, are at hand. We can't let these spics and brown people come and change our ways of life after 1960. They changed the demographics of America. With one voice, one man. They unite declaring the good old days are gone. Make America great again. While at the same time, they get ready for the biggest game of powder, civil war. If Trump don't win, there's going to be civil war and projectile that has ever been proposed during the history of the earth. Have you guys not seen these people walking around with AK-47s? Europe presents the appearance of one vast battlefield with the rival armies of every nation drawn up in military array, waiting for the signal which would announce that the time has come for the fray to commence. Woo! This is why I tell y'all how important it is to be mindful of what you're involved in, what you believe in, and what you're willing to put your plow. Like, if you're willing to do this. You guys think, I mean, look, again, this isn't your first rodeo, and let alone it can't be mine. I don't think so at this point, because most of the things that I understand, I don't think it's because I just learned. It's been in my spirit for some time from other lives. Revelation 1:7, behold, he cometh with a cloud, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Those people that stabbed the Mashiach, they're going to see him again. Remember what Job said? That's why I tell you guys, do not fall for the okie doke. Job 19:25, for I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter days upon the earth. You see this? He is going to stand later on upon the earth. And thou, after my skin, worms destroy this body, not the spirit, yet in my flesh shall I see God. So here he says that he is going to pass away. His physical presence will leave this dust of the earth, but he is going to come back, whom I shall see for myself. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know about y'all, but you know, if you get to see people, that means you got some eyeballs on you. That means you got some flesh. You got some skin. You got some bone. That's why that older scripture that talks about these bones, will they live again? Will they be born again? Why? Because remember, the circumcision starts in the mind. The work, the trouble, everything is in the mind. It all starts in the mind first. And this is the only way that you can actually protect your spirit, if you harness the mind. Whom I shall see for myself, my eyes shall behold, and not another. You see this? He, like for example, I am going to see this. He says it himself, whom I shall see for myself. My eyes shall behold, and not another. Meaning you're going to see this, or you saw this, or you're pending to see this. Though my reins be consumed within me. Man, oh man. Why do you think, for example, let's go to Acts real quick. I'll give an example. Acts 1:6. It says here, when therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore the kingdom of Israel? At this time, restore. So there was once a kingdom, but then there's going to be once again. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. But they asked. They really asked, you know what I'm saying? Which, again, take this life serious. Because even though these other nations, I know well, I'll tell you how they feel. Wisdom of Solomon 2:1, for the ungodly said, reasoning within themselves, but not all right. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. This is what they believe. You die once, y ya estufas, güey. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. You see this? For the breath in our nostrils is as a smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our hearts. But remember what Job said? This chapter here is saying how the other nations think and what they truly believe in their spirit. That's why we have a lot of atheists. That's why people that are Christians really don't believe that they've been here before. And listen, a lot of religions understand reincarnation, regeneration. There is such a thing. There is such a thing. Which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. This is why, scripturally speaking, you're not supposed to burn your body, family. You're supposed to go back into the earth. And our names shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. For our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed in the mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. See this? That he says, for our time is the very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed that no man cometh again. See? We die once, we live once. We have one spirit, we never see that spirit again. That's a lie. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are presented. Let us speedily use the creature as in our youth. Meaning when you are so dumb and full of cum, kind of like that concept. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and anointments. Isn't this what they do every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Football, basketball, boxing. Let's get drunk, shit-faced, tossed back. Let's go get that body count. Why? Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they wither. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, meaning sperm, meaning orgasms, body count after body count, 2,000. For this is our portion and this is our lot. One time I was looking at this real quick, and check this out. I want to show you this. This is why
I am so thankful that I have a loving children and a loving daughter. And I don't boast about her, but I'm really proud of her. And I'm thankful that even with my imperfections, my wife was able to hearken, and my kids too. Maybe because I put the fear of God in them, I don't know. But I know that my children and my daughter isn't doing any of this.
In January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
What's your body count?
Are you gonna post this on TikTok?
No, probably not.
74?
74? What's your body count?
8.5. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of What's Your Body Count. And if you are new to my channel and enjoy my content, a sub would be really appreciated.
What is you guys' body count?
11.
11, okay. So 33, yeah.
4.
4, so quick math, 12.
Why are you multiplying it by 3?
Yeah.
When a girl tells you how many guys she's with, multiply it by 3 and that's the real number.
Can I make it 34 in 12? I can?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, guys, most women lie about their body counts, so you just multiply the number by 3 and that's the real number. Here.
What is you guys' body counts?
9, 10, 3.
Whoa!
Dixon!
How much is it?
It's like 11, 12.
11, 12?
Yeah, she's lying.
They must be best friends if they snitch on each other like that.
Bonus question?
What's your body count?
It's 3.
Oh, it is? That's dope, that's dope.
2, I'm sorry,
Oh, it's 2?
2.
Okay, bet that.
Done 1,000 yet.
By the way, guys, she's on
1,000. Let us, Wisdom of Solomon 2:9, let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. But he says in the end, verse 22, such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. That's so important for you to understand. This verse right here, such things they did imagine. So you that think you live one time, it don't matter, you know what I mean? You've been deceived. For their own wickedness had blinded them, because you do leave provisions for sin. And because you don't examine yourself, because you're afraid. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness. Meaning, in this lifetime, I'm going to do my best to do my best. Nor discern a reward for the blameless souls. Why is that important? Because yes, this life is boring, I guess you could say, to the other people. I guess. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. What does not make you immortal? Sin. Nevertheless, through the envy of the devil came death into the world. And they that do hold of his side do find it. Now, you know what that means? You know what that means? This one right here. I think it's, hold on a second. Where is it? This one right here. Genesis 4:6, and the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, thou shalt not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. Sin lieth at the door. That's what that means right there. Nevertheless, Wisdom of Solomon 2:24, nevertheless, through the envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. Sin lieth at the door. Oh yeah, you'll find it. You'll find it. And you know what? Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man. Was that one? No, I saw this one right here. Wisdom, 1 Corinthians 15:52. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, the last trumpet, for the trumpet shall sound. This is why it's talking about spiritual what do you call it? Spiritual, like a spiritual tabernacle, spiritual stones, spiritual bricks, so to speak. It's important you guys understand this. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. First of all, you need to cleanse yourself before you get to that point. That's why the work is now. That's why the work is now. The work is now. The work is at hand. At least that's what I see. Because a lot of us, including myself, we bind ourselves in this yoke. We think that we're supposed to come back to it. Galatians 5:1, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Mashiach has made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Meaning, there's different interpretations in this way, but I'm going to show it in a sense of don't be bound to your iniquities of your past. Move on from that shit, man. Move on. Write it down, put it in a book, and throw it away, and never go back to that vomit again. You have to understand that is the yoke of bondage as well, being committed to your errors and not letting them go. That's why a lot of us still have isms, because we haven't examined ourselves and we still carry some of that garbage. Acts 15:10, now therefore why tempt ye God to put a yoke upon the necks of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear? Because guess what, man, sinning is horrible, bro. If you really are sincere about it, and you know that you made a mistake, you don't want to go back to that. But it's so hard to forget about those things because some of us really sin, like horrible shit. And some of us probably still do. Galatians 5:2, behold, I, Paul, say unto you that if ye be circumcised, the Mashiach shall profit you nothing, because it's not about the exterior part, family. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised that he is a debtor to do the whole law. Now we're talking about those times where those people were being so like, yeah, I kept all the commandments. Well, now you're bound to every single one of them. If you stand up with that type of spirit, the Mashiach has become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by law, ye are fallen from grace, meaning you got no space. You got no space to fail. For we through the Spirit wait for the hopes of righteousness by faith. Because guess what? I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I don't know everything, man. I don't know if I'm doing it correct, but I do know this. That I understand what the word love is in the Bible. I'm understanding it even more and more now. Because some of us, when we hear the word love, like, oh, man, I'm not weak, man. I'm strong. No, that's not what it means, bro. For in the Mashiach, neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision. Now, that tricks a lot of you guys. Paul says the same shit. I'm sorry, Paul talking. Because he was taught that. If you don't examine yourself first, it don't matter how much Bible you know. It don't matter if you know more than the other person. You're worse than they are. Because you can't even keep one commandment right. Like, for example, me. I wasn't getting drunk or anything, but I was drinking too much. Drunkards don't make it into the kingdom. What kind of a fool am I? Circumcision or uncircumcision availeth me nothing, but faith which worketh by love. What is love exactly? A lot of us think we know love. Oh, I know what love is. No, bro. Like sometimes we just walk over these things, and unfortunately, we don't even realize it. This is a love. 2 John 1:6, that we walk after His commandments. That we walk. So, for example, if I'm keeping the commandments in my mind, in my spirit, there's no doubt that if we're neighbors, that you're going to be feeling unsure, unsafe, or untrustworthy. How can you live in a world where you don't trust people? We've already been through that. Every single one of us has grown up in a family where we lost trust in the one we love the most. If we cannot trust them to keep their word and follow the rules, then we got no love. If I'm taking care of my family, raising my children right, loving my wife, spending time with each one of them, it's because I'm keeping my commandments. I'm showing love to my brethren. I'm being responsible. If I'm examining myself, I'm working towards getting rid of all these clods. I'm really trying to root myself properly. I'm keeping the laws of the Most High. That means I'm showing love to all of you and my family first. This is a commandment that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye shall walk in it.
Let's go back to Galatians. Let's go back to Galatians 5. Watch this real quick. Galatians 5:19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, and lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresy. Man, this is everybody. Every one of us is either dealt with this or is dealing with this. So, in case you don't know, you can find adultery in Deuteronomy 22, in Leviticus 20. You can find fornication in Deuteronomy 23. You can find uncleanness in Leviticus 11. You know, dietary laws, lasciviousness. I would say Romans 13. Lasciviousness, this is like you're lusting, you know, in secret. Kind of like in Susan, chapter 1. Those, you know, those priests, those two priests are watching her, checking her out, and you know what I mean? That's lasciviousness, man. You're like lusting over somebody and you're looking at them in secret, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like idolatry. Where can you find idolatry? Exodus 20. You should have no other idols. Witchcraft. We all know Deuteronomy 18. Hatred. 1 John 4:20. Here, I'll show you that one. 1 John 4:20. Watch what it says here. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen? So a lot of us do say that shit. Do you really love? Do you even know what it means? This is serious stuff right here. It's serious stuff. You guys got to really consider what you're reading. We're looking at hatred, variance. Hatred for variance, Deuteronomy 19. Or Matthew 18. Shit, like if you have a problem with your brother, talk to him. A lot of you guys don't do that. You talk shit behind them. I can understand if you disagree on something, you know, but don't say negative. I don't know. It's one of those walks, man. It's one of those things where you just, you know, you really know what you need to say. And emulation, that's, in case you don't know who Dietrich is, that's like people that like to emulate out of envy. They want to teach like you. They want to be like you. They want to talk like you. They want things like you have them, but they don't have the gift. So all of a sudden, they just want to be you. Kind of like Wobbles. Just like Wobbles, man. Let me see if I can end it with this here. This is going to you brothers and sisters out there that are battling and dealing with alcohol. And I'm sharing this with y'all, man, because, you know, I do care about you brothers and sisters that are battling, because I know it's a difficult demon to deal with. But in case you don't know, this is something that historically speaking, we've always battled with. By the way, family, in case you guys would, if I would appreciate it for the sake of, I don't know, man, for the algorithm, I guess, you know, maybe people can catch this channel. It's not like they give a shit. Maybe I ain't black enough or white enough or Jewish enough. That's why I don't have that many subscribers, you know. Because I'll tell you what, if I was black, white, or Jewish saying the shit that I say, because a lot of people are saying the stuff that I've been saying for quite some time, and they got like hundreds of subscribers. So if in case it helps this channel, bro, I'd appreciate if you guys share it. If not, I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Anyhow, I'm just gonna try to power through as much as I can, and then you know, I'll let the Most High decide what goes on with this. Let's begin. This is from the Light and Truth, page 270. The book is called Light and Truth, written in 1844. By the way, interesting book, and I've showed this to you guys before. This is an interesting one. You guys are probably gonna find out that R.R. Lewis is a colored man, and this book is interesting because he says that natives and blacks are the, like, you know, like 12 tribe chart. But he's not talking about you natives. Okay? He's talking about the so-called wobbles. You know, the ones that claim to be the natives from here? Yeah, he's talking about those guys in this book. But I'm going to bring this up for other reasons, okay? So check this out. It says here, several prophetic traits of character given of the Hebrews do accurately apply to the aboriginals of America. Interprets may be first noted. Isaiah, writing about the time of the expulsion of Israel from Canaan and about to predict their restoration, says in Isaiah 28:1, woe to the crown of pride, the drunkards of Ephraim. Ephraim was noted name for the 10 tribes of Israel. The crown of pride, the drunkards of Ephraim shall be trodden under feet. For all tables shall be full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. In the course of the description of their drunkenness, that of their rejection and restoration is blended, that the Lord by a mighty one would cast him down to the earth, and their glorious beauty should be like that of the rich flower in fertile valley, which droops, wither, and die. But in the time God will revive it. In that day shall the Lord of hosts be a crown for glory, and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of these people. None who know the character of the Indians in relation to interference need to be informed that this scripture does most singularly apply to them. Dr. Williams, in his History of Vermont, on this trait of Indian character says, no sooner had the Indians tasted of the spirituous liquors brought by the Europeans that they contracted a new appetite, which they were wholly unable to govern. That's why they call alcohol spirits, family. And if you cannot govern your spirit, you perish. The old and the young, the second, the warrior, and the woman, whenever they can obtain liquors, indulge themselves without moderation and without decency, till universal drunkenness takes place. All the tribes appear to be under the dominion of this appetite and unable to govern it. You see this, family? A writer in the Connecticut magazine assures us of the Indians in Massachusetts when our fathers first arrived there. As soon as they had a taste of ardent spirits, they discovered a strong appetite for them, and their thirst soon became insatiable. And I know what that's like. Not being able to put down the drink, being afraid to pick up one because you don't know if that'll be the only one you'll have. Drinking till you pass out because there's just something that tells you you should go to bed, but you're like, there's still some more beers, or I still got some more liquor. Another trait of the Hebrew characters which singularly applies to the Indians is found in Isaiah 3. The bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, their cowls, their round tires like the moon, their chains, bracelets, mufflers, bonnets, ornaments of the legs, headbands, tablets, earrings, rings, nose jewels, the mantle, the wimples, and the crisping pins. One would imagine the prophet was here indeed, describing the natives of America in their full dress. No other people on earth probably bear a resemblance to such as a degree. The Hebrews. This description was given just before the expulsion of Israel, and nothing would be more likely than their taste for this flashy ornaments should ascend to posterity. For these make the earliest and deepest impressions of the rising generations, and many of the Indians exhibit the horrid contrast which there follows. Mr. Pixley of the Union Mission, being out among the Indians over Sabbath, thus writes in his journal, I have endeavored to pay a little attention to the day, the Sabbath, by building a fire in the woods and there reading my Bible. In reading the 3rd chapter of the prophet Isaiah, I found in the latter part of the chapter a striking analogy between the situation of these people and the condition of the people about whom the prophet was speaking. This is why I've never agreed that 70 AD was Deuteronomy 28, because those people never got the botches of Egypt. And they never diminished like that. So explain that to me. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, let's continue. Which I have never before discovered. They are presently by the prophet as sitting on the ground, having their secret parts discovered, having given to them, instead of a sweet smell, a stench, instead of a girdle, a rent, instead of well-set hair, baldness, instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. In all these particulars, except that of the baldness, the prediction of the prophet is amply fulfilled in these people. That means you people. You, my gente. Even this exception would be removed if we might suppose that they're shaving their heads with a razor. leaving one small loke on the crown would constitute to the baldest hinted. And certainly, if any woman in the world labor to secure their own bread and water, and yet a number of them be attached to one man to take away their reproach, you will find it among these people, whether the prediction may or may not be applied to them. Wow, they're saying that the women were just, they really didn't have much place to stay. They were like looking for the man, because without a man, they were in the reproach. Let's continue. The Indians, being in tribes with their heads and names of tribes, afford further light upon this subject. The Hebrews not only had their tribes and heads of tribes, as had the Indians, but they had their animal emblem of their tribes. Dan emblem was a serpent. By the way, I also found another book which was a serpent and an adder. You know what that is? That means a serpent holding a snake, like the flag of Mexico. Yeah, so that's why I don't believe that they're Issachar. Not all of them. But let's continue. Issachar an ass, Benjamin a wolf, and Judah a lion. And this trait of the characters is not wanting among the natives of this land. They have their wolf tribe, their tiger tribe, their panther tribe, buffalo tribe, bear tribe, deer tribe, raccoon tribe, eagle tribe, and many others. What other nation on earth bears any resemblance to these? None other. Here, no doubt, is Hebrew tradition. Gotcha, bitch. Hold on a second. Various of the emblems given in Jacob's last blessing have been strikingly fulfilled in the American Indians. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse heel, so that the rider shall fall backwards. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall devour the spoils. Had the prophetic eyes rested on the American Aborigines, it seems as though no picture could have been more accurate. They're having an imitation of the ancient city of refuge, evidence of the truth of our subject. Their city of refuge has been hinted from Mr. Adair, James Adair. But as this is so convincing an argument, no nation on earth having anything of any kind but the ancient Hebrews and the Indians, the reader shall be more particularly instructed on this article. One of these places of refuge, Mr. Baudonnet says, the town of refuge called Choate is on a large stream of the Mississippi, 5 miles above where Fort Loudoun formerly stood. Here, some years ago, a brave Englishman was protected after killing an Indian warrior in defense of his property. He told Mr. Adair that after some months' stay in this place of refuge, he intended to return to his house in the neighborhood, but the chief told him it would prove fatal to him, so that he was obliged to continue there till he pacified the friends of the deceased by presents to their satisfaction. That's actually biblical. In the upper country of Muskogee, says Dr. Baudinot, was an old beloved town called Coassa, which is a place of safety for those who killed undesignedly. In almost every Indian nation, he adds, there are several peaceable towns which are called Old Beloved, holy or white towns. It is not within the memory of the oldest people that the blood was ever shed in them, although they often force persons from them and put them elsewhere to death. Who can read this and not be satisfied of the origin of the Indian tradition? You should be loving this stuff, family. Check this out. A council of the chiefs replied to the missionary of 1805 at the Six Nations by Signium Wata, alias Red Jacket, philanthropist. Oh, he's writing a letter here. He's writing a letter regarding how some of these people move. Okay? So I'm going to read some stuff and then I'm going to skip it because I'm almost done. Friend and brother, he says, it was the will of the Great Spirit that we should meet together this day. He orders all things and has given us a fine day for our council. He has taken his garment from before the sun and caused it to shine with brightness. Our eyes are open that we may see clearly. Our ears are unstopped that we may be able to hear distinctly the word that you have spoken. For all these favors, we thank the Great Spirit and him only. Okay? Then he's telling him, brother, listen. There was a time where our forefathers owned this great island. Their seats extended from the rising to the sun, to the setting sun. The Great Spirit had made it for the use of the Indians. He had created the buffalo, the deer, and other animals for food. He had made the bear and the beaver. Their skins served us for clothing. He had scattered them over the country and taught us how to take them. He had caused the earth to produce corn for bread. All these he has done for his red children because he had loved them. If we had disputes about our hunting ground,
they were generally settled without the shedding of blood. You see how they said that we were uncivil? We weren't civilized? Bullshit. But an evil day has come upon us. Your forefathers crossed the great waters and landed on this island. Their numbers were small. They found us as friends and not enemies. This is the white and black people. Yeah, you bastards. They told us that they had fled from their own country through fear of wicked men and had come here to enjoy their religion. They asked us for a small seat. We took pity on them and granted their request, and they sat among us. We gave them corn and meat, and in return, they gave us poison. The white people, having now found our country good, tidings were sent back, and more came among us. Yet we did not fear them. We took them to be friends. They called us brothers. We believed them and gave them a larger seat. At length, their numbers so increased that they wanted more land. They wanted our country. Our eyes were opened, and we became uneasy. War took place. Indians were hired to fight against Indians, and many of our people were destroyed. They also distributed liquor among us, which has slain thousands. Brother, our seats were large, and yours were small. You have now become a great people, and we have scarcely a place left to spread our blankets. You got our country, but are not satisfied. You want to force your religion upon us. Brother, continue to listen. You say you are sent to instruct us how to worship the Great Spirit, agreeably to his mind. And if we do not take hold of the religion which you teach, we shall be unhappy hereafter. How do we know this to be true? We understand that your religion is written in a book. If it were intended for us as well as you, why has not the Great Spirit given it to us? And not only to us, but why did he not give to our forefathers the knowledge of that book with the means of rightly understanding it? We only know what you tell us about it, like the Christian Compendium, Ave Maria, Padre Nuestro, Los 10 Mandamientos, El Credo, and the Rosario. That's all we knew. That's all they taught us, that we were savages and we had no conception of God, no understanding and no civility, like that stupid ass African Candace. Yes, I called her that. Candace Owens. I want to send her back to where she's from. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because she said it out of her own mouth that native Indians were savages eating themselves, smoking, that pipe shit. Why should she listen to natives? Yeah. Can you believe that? We only know what you tell us about it, just like Protestants, WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, you fucking mega Nazis. We only know what you tell us about it and haven't been so often deceived by white and black people. How should we believe what they say? Now remember, because if you think about this, what's the quarterback from Kansas City? Isn't his daddy black and his mama white? Thank you. Enough said. We only know what you tell us about it and haven't been so often deceived by white people. How should we believe what they say? Brother, you say there is but one way to worship and serve the Great Spirit. If there is but one religion, why do you white people differ so much about it? Why not all agree, as you can all read the book? Brother, we do not understand these things. We are told that your religion was given to your forefathers and has been handed down from father to son, which is bullshit, family. And you know damn well that's not what happened. We also have a religion which was given to our forefathers and has been handed down to us. It teaches us to be thankful for all favors received. That's why I tell you, family, stop trying to teach strangers. Teach your family, your daughters, your sons, your wife. You want to be a king, but you can't rule your own home. You want to rule people, but you can't even rule your own self. You want to teach others, but you can't even put the drink down or put the smoke down or put the punani down or put the anger down, the hatred.
the variance, the emulation, the malice. Put it all down. No, 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 no. You want to be like these other ones. We also have a religion or a belief, which was given to our forefathers, that has been handed down unto us. It teaches us to be thankful for all favors received, to love each other, and be united. What is 1 John 2 and 6 say? What did 1 John 2 and 6 say? I'm sorry, 1 John 4 and 6, I believe. No, hold on. 1 John 4 and 20. It says right here, if a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he's a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he have seen, how can you love God whom he have not seen? It teaches us to be thankful for all favors received, and also our tribulations. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I am a so-called alcoholic, not in practice, because I'm seeing all my flaws. And I love the fact that I can see myself now, because that means that I can actually love myself now, which means I can love other people. Because how can you love other people if you don't know how to love you? If you don't know how to love yourself, how can you learn how to love others? If you can't practice to love yourself, how can you love other people? If the kingdom of God dwelleth in you and you hate yourself, then you hate the Most High and the Mashiach that dwelleth in you. It's not simple, but it's not easy. It teaches us to be thankful for all favors received, to love each other and be united. We never quarreled about religion. Brother, the Great Spirit made us all, but he has made a great difference between the white and the red children. Ain't that the truth, man? Ain't that the fact? He has given us different complexions and different customs. To you, he has given the arts. To these, he has not opened our eyes. Since he has made so great a difference between us and other things, why may he not have given us a different religion? Ooh, nice. Bruh. The Great Spirit does right. He knows what is best for his children. Brother, we do not want to destroy your religion or take it from you. We only want to enjoy our own. You know, when I came to this country, man, I saw how much my father and my mother suffered, how hard it was for them, and the neighborhood that I lived in, man. We couldn't enjoy each other. This country, man, completely separated my family. At one point, back home, we were like together, man, and now we don't even talk. So I do my best to enjoy my little family. That's all I want. I think, and from the brothers that I talk to, that's all we want. And a few sisters. Brother, we have been told that you have been preaching to the white people in this place. These people are our neighbors. We will wait a little and see what effect your preaching has had upon them. If we find it makes them honest and less disposed to cheat Indians, we will then consider again of what you have said. Brother, you have now heard our answer, and this is all we have to say at present. As we are about to part, we will come and take you by the hand, and we hope the Great Spirit will protect you on your journey and return you safe to your friends. Whole families of Christians, Indians were murdered in cool blood by the whites. This circumstance is but 1 in 1,000. Let me read that again. Whole families of Christian Indians were murdered in cold blood by whites. This is 1 of 1,000 stories. Upon the banks of the Ohio, a party of 200 white warriors in 1757, or about that time, came across a settlement of Christian Indians and falsely accused them of being warriors, to which they denied, but all to no purpose. They were determined to massacre them all. They, the Indians, then asked liberty to prepare for the fatal hour. The white savages then gave them 1 hour, as the historian said. They then prayed together, men in tears and cries, upon their knees, begged pardon of each other, of all they had done. After which they informed the white savages that they were now ready. One white man then began with a mallet and knocked them down and continued his work until he had killed 15 with his own hand. Then saying in ache, he gave his commission to another. And thus they continued till they had massacred nearly 90 men, women, and children. This is your Christianity. This is your WASP. This is exactly what you vote for to this very day, Republicans and Democrats. Stupid Christmas Christians. You want to come to this channel and try to tell me some shit about this? You stand by doctrine of discovery. You believe in manifest destiny. You believe to let these people continue to rape, rob, and pillage your mind and your spirit. What sad tales are these? All these innocents of any crime. What sad tales are these for us to look upon the massacre of our dear fathers, mothers, brothers, and sisters? And if we speak, we are then called savages for complaining. Just like me, when I speak, you call me a fucking racist. A racist. Matter of fact, my own gente calls me a white man because I don't agree with their stupid 12-tribe chart. You call me a racist because I mentioned the sad tales. Because I mentioned the massacre of our fathers, brothers, mothers, and sisters. When I speak, you call me a savage because I'm complaining. Our affections for each other are the same as yours. We think as much of ourselves as the whites do of themselves. You damn fucking right we do. I'm going to finish it right here. I think this is it right here. Yep, that's it. Let me continue now. The Aboriginal Indians of the Amazonia, these natives, like all other Americans, hold on, let me stop here real quick. Our affection for each other are the same as yours. We think as much of ourselves as the whites do of themselves. Damn right we do. Let me finish it with this page and that's it, family. All right, I'm just going to finish it and then I'm going to say shalom, I guess. Give me a second here. I had something else to show you guys, but I'm going to skip it. Maybe I'll do another class in a couple weeks. I got a lot going on in my household. My son is still sick. So, you know, he's getting better, but obviously my attention is focusing on my...
The national average for a gallon of gas...
Sorry. You know, that comes first. That definitely comes first. So I'm going to play this. Well, I'm not going to play it now. I'm just getting ready, but I'm going to end it with this page. And then I'm going to play a song and then that's it. Okay. All right, so let's finish it, man. It's almost 10:30. The Aboriginal Indians of Amazonia, these natives, like all other Americans, are of a good stature, have handsome features, long black hair, and copper complexion. Not Afro. Not Afro. You are from Africa. Shut your ass up, Wobble. They are said to have a taste for imitative arts, especially painting and sculpture. Very true. That was naturally made for me. And make good mechanics. They spin and weave cotton cloth and build their houses with wood and clay and attach them with reeds. Their arms in general are darts and javelins, bows and arrows with targets of cane or fish skin. The several nations are governed by their chief or caciques. America was originally peopled by Christian nations, which lived mostly by hunting and fishing. The Europeans who first visited these shores treated the natives as wild beasts of the forest and hunted the Indians down with hogs and guns. And dogs too. Oh, sorry, with dogs and guns. Wow, I don't know why I read it that way. The native, remember that, and hunted the Indians down with dogs and guns. You guys know the video I have. The native inhabitants of America are of a copper color, red, black, and white. Because we came in various colors. Have black, thick, straight hair, flat noses, not like Africans, high cheekbones, small eyes. They paint the body and face of various colors and eradicate their hair of their beards and other parts as deformity. Their limbs are not so large or robust as those of the Europeans. They endure hunger, thirst, and pain with astonishing firmness and patience. And though cruel to their enemies, they are kind and just to each other. Love your brethren as you love yourself. Georgia, the Indian tribes within the vicinity of this district are the Cherokees and Chickasaws. The Cherokee have been a warlike and numerous nation, but by continual wars in which it has been their destiny to be engaged with the northern Indian tribes, they were reduced to the commencement of the last war to about 2,000 fighting men. The Creek Indians represent this as the most blissful spot on the earth. They say it is inhabited by a peculiar race of Indians. Those women are incomparably beautiful. They were called daughters of the sun, who kindly gave to strangers. Their husbands were fierce men and cruel to their enemies. Check this out, and we're done. The people of God, who were murdered by thousands, men, women, and children, under the act made by Congress in cold blood murder to obtain their lands. Woe unto the nation, the United States of America. All right, family, that's all I got, man. I hope you guys were edified. Remember, this book is called Light and Truth, okay? Light and Truth, written in 1844 by a colored man. I suggest read the book. You're going to be impressed. And you're also going to be confounded, like, what the fuck is he saying? Yep, yeah, for real. And then this one here, The Perils of a Republic. This is a great book here. The Perils of a Republic. Read thoroughly. There's a lot of stuff in here. Matter of fact, a lot of people that say they're prophets, they like to use this and claim that they were reading the book or they were prophetic. Like Nate the Snake. That's where he got that concept from. He ain't no teacher, man. Dude's a fake ass. Trust me. Trust and believe. He's a fake ass. But anyways, what do I know, right? What do I know? Anyhow, man. Hey, share and like, subscribe. Thank you for showing up. You know, and you guys have a good night. Saludos, brother Guaracuya. Thank you, bro, for being here. What's up, Al? Yep. And the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. The Hebrew out of my ground formed his general redness. Yeah, matter of fact, here, I'll Google it real quick. Let me Google it. Hold on, I'll go here. Watch. Adam. Whoa. Move it. Adam. Let me see, hold on. Interesting. I usually look it up and it has here it goes right here. Stop. No. Ground. No. Piece of ground, herb substance, territory, city of Naphtali, which is a city called Adami or Adama, which means red ground. It's not complicated. It's pretty simple. Good to have you here, bro. Good to have you here, bro. What's up, Exotic Tribe? Good to have you here, man. It's good to have you here, brother. Who else? Yes, Liam. Shalom. True Talk. What up, bro? I haven't seen you in a bit. I can't remember you. Hey, Experto! What up, bro? I didn't even see you. Shit. Anyways, man, you guys have a good night, all right? Thank you guys for being here. Please subscribe, share, and like. You know how I roll. Hopefully, I'll be back in a week, maybe a day, maybe in a month. I don't know. I'm going to play by ear, man. I'm focusing on my family right now. I got to get this right. Have a good night.
En la Plaza de Reyes, la Sumenta, Soplón. Yeah. ¿Qué vas a saber? ¿Qué vas a saber tú? Oye, chibolito, faltóme. Pulpín de los pulpines, batería de Rapunzel, de rapeos, de raptos, de lagartos en cuartel. Cualquier la pega de cruel con un viejo coronel. Soy flojo, se me antojó dormirme en el laurel. Elevé mi level con un label y un Faber-Castell. Ya un papel, lo empape con sangre de todo aquel que se jura Nobel y no ve mis trenes en la riel. What's so man? ¿Por qué no sacan la tabla? Juro hablo por mis aguas, que no te hablo por las powers. Soy chinchano neto, búscame por pico sour y te voy a meter al centro, loco, como Beckenbauer. Escúchame atento mi pro, que estamos rompiéndole en pro. El negro de Plaza de Reyes como siempre rompe de este micrófono. Que quiere meterle como yo, pero no puede meterle taco pro. Si te pensaba que solo era un gallo, déjame decirle que se equivocó. Real motherfucker feeling on the street. Es el Black Sheep, Black Sea Metal de Plaza de Kings. Motherfucker, so bloom.
Nero Luigi, man, desde Peña, a la victoria, para que sepa. Incas Mo, it's money gang, gang, yeah, yeah, Yo también he llorado, gente, también me han desplazado por mi rasgo afrodescendiente. Sí, un perro no habla pero siente. Cuento historias callejeras pa' barrios de delincuentes. Soy un perro que te ladra, que te muerde y que te huele, nene. Soy más que Lele, ustedes para mí son pelele. Con mi jauría todo el día en busca de los cheles. Tengo un perro en fiscalía que nos mueve los papeles y otro en la comisaría para evitar el susto. Muchas veces me han llevado por solo como luzco. Perdón, madre mía, si yo le causé un disgusto, pero en esta vía yo crecí rodeado de perros chuscos. Yo sé que me quieren ganar, yo sé que me quieren tumbar y no pasará porque soy de verdad. Está súper rafina la Dodo Style, metido en latina aprendiendo un style. Yo tengo el style, no mido la raza del perro, yo mido por la lealtad y yo soy leal. La calle te enseña lo que no te enseña la universidad. Saliste ese peña aquí con una seña, te tiran para atrás. La calle limeña aquí nadie la tenía, ya nada es igual. Tiene que respetar, tiene que respetar. La calle te enseña lo que no te enseña la universidad. Saliste ese peña aquí con una seña, te tiran para atrás. La calle limeña aquí nada le duele, ya nada es igual. Tiene que respetar, si yo soy tu papá, Es Incas Mob, negro, Es Incas Mob, nigga, Nero Luigi, man, Incas Mob, It's money gang, gang, gang,
Hey, yo, Yango en la maldita casa, Me llaman pa' que les dé al menos una vez al mes. Se metieron al lago y olvidaron que era el mes. For everybody bless. La fama es una puta, me está llamando a las 3. Dile que llame después de las 16 y 25. Volví de la infancia de Abraham Lincoln. Con fuerza ya inco, luchando para salir del rincón. Letra callejera en CD brinco. Under del under, puede que tu viejo te lo mande. Sale de vez en cuando como el cóndor por los Andes. Mi cuerpo no es de madera como Dandy. Antes que me branden, yo seré el ola que los expande. Aunque esto me pique en la madera, no sirven ni para romper el ticket de un evento afuera. Loco por la carrera, desafían la gravedad. Yo espero tras la barrera y llego con la novedad. Niña, tú solo espera que ya encontré la manera. He visto bastante por querer lograrlo saltando escalones dentro de la escalera. La vida me puso al depósito, yo soy de púlpito para que el mundo conociéramos. De esta parte mejor interprete que ha parido esta cordillera. Sin luz afuera, que el espectáculo es dentro. La calle es mi templo, tiembla el pavimento cuando yo me concentro. Mis disparos son temas, la calle un poema. Se siente desde cuando entro. Que a toditos estos drogaditos que creen que rapean los regreso al centro de mi balcón. Yo he visto el clon del clon en la misma gestión, pero a la malla no llega el balón. Y para esta pantalla no soy el patrón. Yo llamo, esa es la cuestión. Y doy fe por cada renglón. Consciente de la operación del final de Mbappé con la edad de bufón. De Yango en la maldita casa. Plaza de Reyes, papá. El Nero Luigi, Black Mental. Hip hop peruano. Rasgo en la maldita base. Yao.
Chicanos killing Chicanos is what they want. Blacks and Chicanos killing each other is what they want. That's how they run this place. Once we get together, they don't run shit. Got a lot to learn about being Chicano.
Yeah, Alcatraz, midget loco. They never seen this coming, man. What up, Loom? What up, Oreo? 500 years of captivity. What else? Now they try to tell us how we supposed to be, how we supposed to act, how we supposed to rap. How I'm brown but my flow too black. Come on, y'all kidding me, right? Nike Air Flights fitted cock back fresh. Representando mexicanos on the map. No estoy jugando, got balls like a battle on smack. But hold on, I'ma bring it right back. My people indigenous. I'm not sure if you getting this. By the time I'm done, you gon' be feeling this. I come from the people they call Mexica. I've been to the motherland, Chichen Itza. Seen the Mayan ruins, intellectual architects. Been in the cenote, seen ancient artifacts. Cali is Mexico, those are the facts. They rape women, gave elders heart attacks. It was a battle, our people were outgunned. Took life and cattle, we were outdone. However, 2 wars proudly we take to the grave. Those we call our Independence Day. It's time to stand up, educate our people. Stay on our ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down.
Yeah. Story with Mexicans, Mexicano. Gave birth to the word that we know as Chicanos. Aztec warrior, man, it's all in my blood. From the Tenochtitlan, that's the heart of the love. Now Mexico City, that's a modern day name. Don't let the books confuse it to be a modern day slave. Gotta get your facts right and study the culture. Don't be like Cortez, he came like a vulture. Came to just steal and take away the land. He seen what we got and he was like, damn, who would've guessed it had to be a white man. Damn it, man. Now we got stolen lands. They say go back to where the fuck you from. Man, this is my land, that's what you stole from us. I'm not Hispanic or Latino, I'm a Mexican. Man, fuck La Militia, you can have that bitch.
It's time to stand up, educate our people. Stay on our ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down, yeah.
y cal. Y cal, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. Y cal, hijo, abre los ojos.